If you want to run ads to your warm audiences, the people who already know who you are, that are much more likely to opt in and much more likely to become a client in a very short space of time, then this video is exactly how you set up all of your warm audiences and target the right people that are most likely to become clients. And before we go into the dashboard and go through how to set up your audiences for remarketing, your warm audiences, the people who know who you are. This is one that's always been a little bit tricky for people. If I've done like live workshops or they've gone through a lead magnet or whatever it may be, they'll very often go, right, it makes complete sense to me with the warm audiences that I'm supposed to be targeting people who have watched my videos, that I'm supposed to be targeting people who have visited my website. However, they'll very often say, but I've got no clue how to actually set this up. That's what this video is for. But before we go into setting up those audiences, I just want to quickly run through exactly how this looks inside the Shoney 255 method so that you have a great understanding of it and then therefore can actually use what's in this video rather than it just being some procrastination. So just for a quick recap, Shoney 255 method, instead of having a 1-1-1 campaign, one campaign going to one audience and one ad, the Shoney 255 method starts with 2 campaigns. Okay, we're already doubling our chances of success versus your competitors. We have one for cold audiences, people who do not know who you are, and one for warm audiences. That's for people who do know who you are. That is where we're going to live inside this video. Okay, this is what it looks like inside the 5. These are the 5 ad sets. For easiness of understanding, that's your audiences. That's where we're going to live in this video. This is what we're about to show you where to go to create these. And just so I can quickly go into a little bit more detail of what the perfect 5 audiences would be here, it would be 7-day stack. So 7-day stack is number 1. This is my favorite ad set of all time. You probably don't have a favorite ad set of all time, and that's okay. Me personally, being the type of guy I am, loving Facebook ads, like genuinely still really enjoying the process, and I've been running them for 13 years. 7-day stack is my favorite ad set of all time, okay? For easiness of understanding, it's people who have visited your Instagram profile in the last 7 days, people who have visited your Facebook page in the last 7 days, and people who have visited your website or any funnel in the last 7 days. This is not just a great audience because they've engaged with you in the last 7 days. They know who you are, they've engaged with you in the last 7 days, and it costs a really small amount of your budget to get in front of them. So the warmest of the warmest of the warm, the people who are on the cusp of taking action with you, they are the lowest cost to go after. Okay, so 7-day stack is number 1. It's probably where about 5 to 10% of your budget will end up, but it can be very often the most successful audience overall. The next one here is, and I could probably get you to fill in the blanks here, is the 7-day stack. Okay, let me say stack. So at 30-day stack even. 30-day stack. Ryan's like that behind the camera. Yep, you corrected yourself there. We don't need to reshoot. So 7-day stack, 30-day stack. So 30-day stack is, as you can imagine, the 30-day version of the 7-day, right? So people who visit your website in the last 30 days, people who visited your Facebook page in the last 30 days, and people who visit your website in the last 30 days as well. You might be questioning this. This is a really good question that comes up often. Do I exclude the people who were in the 7-day stack? You do. So when you create ad set number 2 and you target these audiences, you hit the exclude button and you put everybody that was in the 7-day stack in there. It just means that there's no overlap and confusion. You know what's working and you know what's not working. There's no overlap. And people say about spending double to compete with yourself in the market. Don't ever worry about that in your cold or your warm audiences. You're up against thousands of other advertisers. Who even cares if there was an extra one in the market? It makes next to no difference to you. Don't worry about that. This is just about having clean data to know what's working and what's not. The next one here is website. 180 days. Okay, this is people who have visited your website or visited any of your funnels in the last 180 days. You need to grab your Facebook pixel, drop it into those funnels or onto your website. If you don't have that installed, I usually say to people, look, if you don't have any intention of sending tons and tons of people to a landing page or to your website specifically, and you don't have this set up right now, don't feel like you're at a disadvantage and you can't run ads. With the iOS updates from like 4 years ago, we don't even track all of these people anyway. So it's already a small audience for most people. If you don't have a pixel somewhere, don't worry about it. Just skip it. Make it the Shoney 2-4-5 method and just have 4 audiences, okay? But this is a good audience if you do have people there because they're obviously relatively high intent. The next one here is video views. and it's not reviews with a W, it is definitely video views with a V. And video views, I'm going to say 25%, because this is what most people should be using. If you have less than 50,000 followers and you share video content, whether frequently or otherwise, then you should be doing anybody who has watched any of my most recent 50 videos at least 25% of the way through. If you want to be more pinpoint with it, make sure that you don't select any videos that are less than 15 seconds long. So what is 25% of a 5-second video, right? It's like 1.25 seconds. So don't do that for short videos, but anything over 15 seconds, this is a massively effective audience. The really cool thing with this is it takes into account not just people who are, you know, following you on IG and things like that. This takes into account people who may even have seen you through an ad. But if they've already watched like 15 seconds of a video, for instance, like it's a 1-minute video and it's over 25%, they've watched at least 17 seconds of a video, they're going to recognize your face. They know what you're about. They've already, almost in a roundabout way without putting their hands up, said, I'm actually interested in this topic. Nobody has any attention span anymore. People will scroll past things that do interest them in case there's something better on the other side. So even if this is based upon your ads, if they've watched over 15 seconds of your video, this is going to be really effective, okay? In fact, out of everything for both my lead magnet funnel and also whenever we do live workshops and live masterclasses, this is actually my most effective warm audience. Lowest cost per lead and highest volume of leads come directly from this right here, even though what I've included in this is not just warm audience, as in like people who have seen my organic videos. I actually add in the videos from my previous ads. That's how powerful this is for widening the net for you with people who are going to recognize your face, basically. Okay, so they'll stop in their tracks. And then the final one here is, I'm going to call it broad organics, and we'll do 365 days for this. Okay, so with website you can only do 180 days. With organics, so people who have visited your IG page, people who have engaged with your Facebook page, this is 365 days. It's really, really good. We can widen the net with this one. So anybody who has engaged with your social pages in any which way in the last 365 days, the good thing here with this is that we're excluding these 4 audiences to make sure that this is as effective as possible at really saying, okay, these people are not my highest engaged audience. I'm widening the net. Is there still juice to be squeezed from this great audience? Okay, and that's the 5 audiences. We'll go back into the ads dashboard now so I can show you where you go inside the ads dashboard to create all of these individual audiences. Okay, so we're back in the ads dashboard right now, and I'm just going to point out that we're not going to start inside audiences. I'm going to start inside Ads Manager just so you know exactly where to find audiences and make this as dynamite as possible, as easy to follow as possible, so that you can actually get these set up. And so inside Ads Manager here, if you're not even sure how you get to Ads Manager, you can type it in on Google, you can type it into the search bar inside Facebook ads itself, or if you're on your home screen of Facebook, you on the left hand side have a drop down and you can also find Ads Manager in there. It's going to bring you through nicely to your Ads Manager, and you're going to be able to see your campaigns, the green create button. This is where we would create ads from scratch. But where do you create your warm audiences so that you can use them when setting up your Facebook ads? Okay, we're going to go onto the left hand side here, and you can go into the hamburger icon here. It's just 3 lines, but Facebook called it the hamburger icon back in the day. It never was a picture of a hamburger. But inside all tools, you're going to find audiences in here under advertise. So either way, go through audiences here or audiences here, and it's going to take us through to our audiences. And you'll see that I've got a whole bunch of these already set up from other trainings, ready to go for the Shoney 255 method. We do 5 different audiences. We just ran through them on the whiteboard there. So you know exactly what it is that we're looking to create anyway, but this comes up all the time. Where do I go to actually create these warm audiences? This is the screen that you need to be on, okay? And so all you're gonna do is you're gonna hit the green create audience button, and then you're gonna go to custom audience. Do not do saved audience. This is, again, major way that people mess this up. They create saved audiences. Big difference between creating a custom audience and a saved audience, even though they'll look exactly the same. A custom audience, people can flow inside one, can flow inside from one side and they can go out the other side. Okay, so let's say for instance, 7-day stack, people who have visited your Instagram page in the last 7 days. You want to target those people. If you create a custom audience, people can flow in that and 7 days later flow out the other side. It means that you're not going to bombard that person for 3 years with your ads. Okay, if you did a saved audience, people can never get out of it. They're trapped for eternity. Okay, and so if you use a saved audience, you're going to be in a position where people who are in that audience right this very second can never get out of it. Okay, again, there's some advanced reasons why we would use it in certain situations so that we can take control of great audiences and be able to reuse them years down the line, even when people have flowed out of them. However, for Shoney 255 method, cold audiences and warm audiences, we want to use custom audience. Okay, so we're going to click on custom audience, and this is where you're going to live. Okay, it is so unbelievably simple at every single step here. When I said about, what was the first one? 7-day stack, my favorite ad set of all time. So you need to create 3 different audiences so that you can bundle them together when setting up your campaign. You need people who have visited your website in the last 7 days. You need people who have visited your Instagram account in the last 7 days, and people who have visited your Facebook page in the last 7 days. And just to show you how this looks, you would go into one and then you would label it well, create it, and then go into the next one. If I come into Facebook page here, for instance, and hit next, so I've got Neil Shoney Mac, everyone who's engaged with the page, I would do 7 days like this. Audience name, I would do Facebook engagements, brackets, 7 days. And as you can see, I can just hit create audience and it's good to go. And that's it, done. Okay, so I've now created that audience. It's populating. It's going to take somewhere in the region of 2 hours or 3 hours before it's ready to use. And then it's going to start populating with, you know, thousands of people inside there. Okay, you would do exactly the same thing for website, and you would just select 7 days, people who have been tracked by my pixel in the last 7 days. And then for IG, you would do the exact same thing that I just did for Facebook. Select your IG account, 7 days, and then you would label it correctly. Okay, I also showed you the video version, or I suggested that you do video views 25%. So you would click on video right here, come into next, and you would do engagement type, and I said 25%. Okay, so you would do people who have viewed at least 25% of the video, and then you would do 365 days. This is really important that you do 365 days so that the older videos are all taken into account here, okay, as you do this. And you're going to call this video views 25%, but I actually like to label this based upon when I've done it, because if it's the most recent 50 videos, I want to know how backdated is this, so that you can create new audiences in the future with the newer videos, because you have to select the videos. It's not just, hey, update this as we go. You have to select the individual videos. So I would do, for instance, June 25, so that I know what this audience is. From there, you come into select videos, and it will give you the option of both Instagram and Facebook so that you can select the videos from both places. You can either create 2 audiences and bundle them together, or most people don't know that you can do this, but as soon as you've actually selected 25 videos from Instagram, you can actually just switch to Facebook and it doesn't deselect the IG ones. So you can actually select from both and bundle them together, okay? And so if I hit back here, what else did I want to show you? So we've got website. This actually is everything. We're going to do website 180 days is inside website. And then the final one that I showed you as well was broad socials. Okay, so that was anybody who has engaged with your IG page or your Facebook page in the last 365 days. You would just come in here, for instance, Neil Shoney Mac, engagements in the last 365 days, and then you would label it appropriately, hit create audience, and you're good to go. And where I've shown you multiple times inside the ads dashboard that when you go into your ad sets, it says, do you want to use detailed targeting or do you want to select custom audiences? You select the custom audiences that you've just chosen or that you've just created inside this video. It really is as simple as that. So if you've got any questions, anything I can bring clarity to, then drop it down below, and it's always me personally that comes back to any comments there. And as always, do all the stuff that the YouTube algorithm absolutely loves, like and subscribe and drop a comment if you're a really good human. And as always, if you're interested in getting free templates, a free Facebook ads course, or indeed you're saying, I want to work with that guy in closer capacity, then you can go into the description below. We've got all the different options of how you can work with us, and I would love to help you get great ads set up in your business, but hopefully just through this YouTube video. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video.